What's going on, guys? Tommy back here again, talking sports, wearing shorts with another video for you guys here today. How can Klopp fix this Liverpool team and how can he rebuild this Liverpool side? We know it needs to be done now. I don't think there's any getting around it. I mean, you could have denied it for a long time. I think a lot of people were trying to fight it, myself included a little bit. I still believe there was a little bit left in this team, but what we have seen over the last couple of weeks, and to be honest, really, this first half of the season, it's not been good. And it's just highlighted the fact that this team needs to change. It's in a transitioning period. We need to rebuild again. And it's going to take a little bit, and it's a little bit of effort. And it's going to take some shrewd business in able to get this side to the side that we once knew and the side that we have been watching for such a long time. You know, this side that we're watching at the moment is a shell of that team. It's not even the same. I don't know what's happened. I think if anybody of us knew, we'd be trying to fix it, but none of us know. And I don't even think Klopp knows. He's a little bit confused. He's trying to figure it out. But it's a really, really tough time, guys. But this video today is about what Liverpool can do, particularly in the transfer market, and what they can do maybe systematically with their side in order to rebuild Liverpool and to try and get us back up to those heights. Because it's not like we've all of a sudden become a bad team and then we haven't been good for years. This is like a 6-month period. We were competing for every single trophy last year. Every single trophy. We went to the final day in the Premiership, and then 6 months later, we've got 29 points and we're in 8th spot. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those where you kind of scratch your head a little bit. Obviously, there's a little bit to it, but we're going to break it down. We'll talk about it all. So let's get into this, guys. Let's break it down. So look, I think obviously number one, I spoke about it in other videos. You could check them out. I'll leave them in the description or up around here somewhere. Obviously, Gini Wijnaldum leaving has created a gap in the midfield that Liverpool probably didn't think was going to be as big of a problem initially, but it's as the course has gone on, it's a massive issue. So what I mean by that is initially with Thiago, right, it wasn't a problem because with Thiago and us getting to all the finals last year that we did and competing on all fronts in the Premiership, it wasn't a problem. But now that everybody's got older and injured, and Thiago is a little bit injury prone, it's not all his fault about the midfield being poor because Henderson has all of a sudden just become so terrible. Fabinho, it's like he's gone off the face of planet Earth. It's like he's changed in an alternate universe Fabinho. And look, there's probably personal stuff going on there, and you can never really know. You never really know with players sometimes what they're actually going through. You know, we just watch from our end. We think, oh my God, he's useless. He's shit. What's happened to him? But, you know, Fabinho has gone through a little bit this year. I think his dad passed away, and obviously he's going through a little bit of stuff with his private life. I did read that apparently he had split from his missus. Again, I don't know how true that is, but whatever. Point is that he's dealing with some personal stuff, so that might allude to the fact that just the reason why his performances haven't been great. But aside from that, the midfield in general, you look at Oxlade-Chamberlain, Naby Keita, Curtis Jones, James Milner. That's 4 players there that, in my opinion, I think Liverpool need to move on from. These are the players that Klopp, he has to be ruthless now. And if he wants to look at this side and go, okay, I want to create another era at Liverpool that was as good as that first one, this is where he's got to start being ruthless. Let's get rid of those 4 players. Curtis Jones, whatever, probably hasn't been given the chance, maybe, I don't know. But it doesn't seem like he's ever going to be that guy that could dominate a midfield, I don't think personally. So I think those 4 more midfielders really have to go. James Milner, Naby Keita and Oxlade-Chamberlain are going anyway. So you got to make a decision. Do you want to keep Curtis Jones or not? That's basically it. I don't think you should. I think we should move on. So then we need to replace them. And so it's not even just about replacing them because we need a new midfield. We need to replace them because we don't have any fucking players. So getting Jude Bellingham and Matheus Nunes, who it looks like there's some articles, I may even bring them up. There's some articles, you can find them with Paul Joyce, talking about Liverpool's interest in Jude Bellingham. We know that. I made tons of videos on it, and obviously you can see it everywhere. But Matheus Nunes and Jude Bellingham look like the 2 midfield targets. If Liverpool can somehow get that over the line and get them now, I know it's going to be tough. If we don't have European football, it's going to be unlikely to get Jude. But I've got this funny feeling we're going to get him. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. I just got this funny feeling. And if we get them to, that revolutionizes the midfield. So you get a little bit of stability there and it changes a little bit. Going forward with Gakpo, Nunes, Luis Diaz, Jota, Salah, I think over the course of a year when they're all fit, we'll be fine there. Defensively, maybe you need to sign another centre-back. Joe Gomez, for me, is a bit hit and miss. But that midfield needs a serious investment. So I think if we can get those 3 to 4 players gone and get in Bellingham and Nuge, that will help. But Liverpool really need to rebuild again. This is Klopp's time. It does depend on a couple of things, though. Klopp needs the money. We all know that. FSG are not going to back him in the transfer market like he needs to. So this is the year where Klopp needs to say, hey, I need a new team, basically, because we're going to need some new players. But this is why this selling of the club is very important, because if we get the right investors, if we get the right cash, then Klopp is going to have the money. If he doesn't have the money, it's going to be very, very hard for us to try rebuild. It just is. That's the cruel reality of sports. You can get your sort of old school hats on and your fucking ceremonial shit on about, oh, you know, we're not a club that spends, and, you know, I don't want Middle Eastern owners because we're pure, and let it go. You got to fucking get over it. This is 2023. It's not 1990 anymore. You know, football changed when it went to the Premiership in 1992. That's when the true diehard football was gone. And if you know your football, you know what I'm talking about. When it changed to the Premiership and went to and Sky took over the Premier League rights, football changed. It completely changed. That was when the true football died. So as far as I'm concerned, football's been dead a long time. But I'm still a diehard fan. I still love Liverpool. I still want them to succeed. And unfortunately, in this day and age, you need a lot of money. That's just the way it is. So Klopp needs the money. I think he's identified the midfield targets. And I really do think that Klopp understands that this team has probably gone as far as it can. It's probably reached its capacity. Did he anticipate that this club was not going to be as good as it is now? Probably not. I don't think he anticipated that. I don't think anybody anticipated that. I don't think anyone anticipated the fact that Liverpool would be this trash. I don't think anybody did. But it's football, and this is what happens sometimes. And when you're in a transition period, which Liverpool regrettably are, then this is what happens. And you need to go out and get 2 to 3 midfielders. This midfield is done. It's finished. It's played a lot of football. It's ran a lot of miles, and you can see it because Liverpool don't even have that pressing game anymore. You know, there was years gone by where Liverpool would press and press and press, and we would lose because we would press too much and we'd be too open. Now we don't even press. We're just allowing teams to walk through us. So it's one of those things that he's just got to figure out and get that balance right. And I back him. I believe him. Anybody that's saying that Liverpool need to move on, cut ties, you're done with Jurgen Klopp, you need to fucking wake up because this guy's unbelievable. He's won every trophy in world football for Liverpool. He's got 99 points, 97 points, 94 points, and always competed on a budget. So put some fucking respect on him. He will do it again. He just needs a little bit to spend. Needs to invest because, unfortunately, if you want to invest in the midfield, which we need to, and you want to build for the next 10 years, we're going to need some cash because Bellingham ain't going to come cheap. But anyway, guys, that about wraps up just a little video on what Klopp can do to rebuild this Liverpool side. I think he's got it in him. I think he can do it. If he gets backed a little bit, I think we can get back to the top again. It's going to take a little bit of time. I think the attack's fine. It's just one of these years that nothing great's going to come out of this. It really isn't. But we just got to run with it. Anyway, hope you enjoyed, guys. Make sure you check out all the links in the description below. Make sure you check out the Twitch, live streaming on Twitch, all football games. Make sure you check out the TikTok as well. Get some clips down there for you. But anyway, hope you enjoy, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.